you guys are old, what that shit do. All right. Keep in mind that these messages are general, so if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Catch me on the next one, and hopefully it sticks. Okay. So collective. I meant to put trigger warning in the title, so I'm just going to state it right now. Okay. I am going to be talking about some things that may be a little bit uncomfortable. And I feel like this is in regards to it could either be you or it could be in regards to someone that you're dealing with. It could be a family member. It could be somebody that you're newly dating. It could be somebody that you've been dating for a long time. And maybe this is something that they never told you before. Hey, Tainted, welcome in. So it is a bit of a sensitive topic, okay? Now, I got the download, listen, Linda, okay? I kept hearing that. And I'm like, what is that about? I'm like, okay, clearly somebody wants to tell you something, right? Hey, I'm about to say, hey, K-Roll. Hey, Zion. I was reading your message. Hey, y'all. So I was like, okay, please let me know what this download is about. Because again, somebody wants to speak to you, okay? But this is like a heart to heart type of conversation that somebody wants to talk to you about. This is not something that someone opens up to many people about, okay? So earlier today, I went outside and I seen a rainbow. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. But I only seen like a little piece of it. It wasn't like it was like the whole arc of the rainbow. And I asked my friend, I was like, how are rainbows formed? Because I never looked it up to actually really know how it forms. So we all know, you know, I got to come with some notes because I was writing, child. So rainbows form when sunlight interacts with water drops, causing the light to refract, right? Which is basically bend, reflect off the back of the droplets, and then refracts again as it exits. So for a rainbow to be visible, the sun must be behind you and the rain must be in front of you, right? So when I seen bend, it automatically made me think of, you remember that part in For Color Girls with Janet Jackson when she was like, oh, so you doing the bending, right? So I was like, oh, okay, we going there, right? And that's the thing too, like maybe somebody opened up to someone about this type of subject of, you know, maybe being attracted to the other sex, right? This can be a part of the LGBTQ, WXY, and Z community, okay? And I'm just bringing a little laughter because y'all know with tough subjects like this, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's nothing to, and I know it's easier said than done. But you're not alone, collective. I just want you to know that if it's you going through this, or if it's maybe this is a confirmation for you to better know how to interact with someone who is going through this, right? So it made me think of that, right? And so I instantly, somebody's name could be Janet. Somebody's last name could be Jackson. It also made me see Zion laughing. Cause y'all know, listening, I'll be having to say little disclaimers because if you're new to my channel, you know, I don't want you to feel like I'm being disrespectful. Okay? It's all love over here. K-Rock gonna love you whether you like him, her, she, he, they, whatever. Okay? What goes on in your bedroom is not my business. Okay? So, but unfortunately for some people, they make it their business, and that's unfortunate, and it's out of our control. That's something they got to deal with, right? But somebody's last name could be Jackson. It made me think of the Andre 3000 song, I'm Sorry, Miss Jackson. So again, somebody also with what, it's like you're on the brinks of like not wanting to deal with somebody or something like that. But this is like somebody like wanting you to listen to them, okay? It's like, please listen to me. Like, I'm this way because of this, right? It's giving that type of energy. Somebody's name could be Andre. Somebody could have a Chrysler 3000. I don't know, I'm getting that too. But also too, with the Listen Linda, for you guys that don't know, and you probably like, what the hell is that about? It is a reel that had got viral, right? In 2014, the viral video was of this little boy who was trying to negotiate with his mother for a cupcake, right? So his mom name was Linda, and he like, listen, Linda, right? So, That also made me think of, oh, because my notes are everywhere, y'all. Going back to the For Color Girls movie. It's ironic that I got that download because we're speaking of the rainbow, right? All the different colors. So the plot of that movie, For Color Girls, it is about, it's like the weaving of, what does it say? It's a weaving of the individual stories of 9 women of color showing their struggles. What's 9? Somebody's birthday could be in September. That could be significant. Somebody could be born on the 9th. That can be significant. The number 9 can just be important to you for whatever reason. But it's showing their struggles with love, identity, and oppression. The story unfolds as their lives intersect. It brings them together to a shared understanding through a series of crises, heartbreaks, and crimes. Ultimately, the narrative culminates in the women finding strength in each other and themselves, accepting their colors, and completing their journey towards self-love and empowerment, right? Hey, shout out to the September birthdays. What's that? I know that's Libra because I know Tana's a Libra. And also, too, speaking of For Color Girls, it made me think of my sister had put me on to colors on YouTube. So somebody here can be in the music industry, but dealing with this type of energy as far as like, okay, I'm gonna get into that. Let me finish breaking this down. But yeah, that could be a confirmation for somebody, okay? Somebody can be in the music industry. Somebody can do poetry. And I say that because the original play For Color Girls, the original was in 1975. It was a choreo poem, right? And it was titled, I think, For Color Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough, right? It's a collection of 20 poems by, if I'm saying this person's name right, it's Ntozake. Ntozake Shange. Okay, so maybe that's something you guys may want to research and look at. And you may get some type of inspiration from that, or some of the poems may resonate with you, right? But it features 7 unnamed women referred to by the color they represent, right? And that's kind of like Colors that I was telling you about on YouTube. It's a platform. And on that platform with music, each artist, they get artists from all over the world, like London and all UK, here, like everywhere. And they have a color and they perform with like the mic drop. They perform in that room, and different artists have different colors, right? So also too, I feel like somebody's starting to see somebody's true colors. That could be a side note, but in the original, right, it represents unnamed women. So they'll call it, like, one woman is Lady in Brown or Lady in Red. What's that one rapper name? Lady of Rage or something like that. That could be somebody's favorite rapper. But they share their personal experiences of pain, anger, and oppression due to racism and sexism, right? The stories are told through a combination of poetry, dance, and music, exploring what it means to be a woman of color and how they find strength and resilience, right? Hey, Raul. Blessings on blessings. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay. So going back to the Listen Linda, right? Let me make sure I got all the downloads in regards to everything else before I get to the nitty of the grittiest. Okay. So when I had wrote the part about the unnamed woman in the original play of Colored Women, it made me think of jail. Because you know how when you go to jail, you're no longer referred to as like your name, I guess, or I guess they call you by your last name, or this could have happened with the teacher. As far as having a sense of like misconduct, when it comes to like sexual abuse, if this is something that somebody had went through, right? But it made me think of, because teachers, they call you by your last name sometimes. But it made me think of jail, right? Because again, you no longer have a name, and they refer to themselves in colors. Now, I was just having a conversation with some peers not too long ago, because they were talking about jail, and I ain't never been in jail, but they was like, you wear the blues? They was like, oh, you wear the yellows? And I'm like, what is that? So evidently the colors either show, I guess, like if you, what type of crimes you committed, or if it's mental health you're in there for, or in certain colors as well that distinguish whether you play for the other side. You know what I'm saying? So this can be in regards to somebody that you could be dealing with, family member, friend, whoever that maybe experienced that, you know. And this is just to bring awareness as far as having a sense of like sensibility towards why people may act the way that they act when it comes to love, or even just sexual acts. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what could have happened to a woman as to why they may no longer like men anymore. You know, and you never, or why it's hard to deal with men, and vice versa. You never know what a man went through as to why it may be hard to love, or why they engage in sensual activity in the way that they do. Like, you never know. There's signs, but again, you never know unless you are somebody that person may feel comfortable with expressing those type of things. Because nowadays, you know what I'm saying, it's very unfortunate, you know, how some people are scared to really open up to people about the things that they've been through, because you never know if you can really trust people with that type of information. You know, all it takes is a fucking argument to happen, and then, you know, a motherfucker is calling you gay or whatever the case may be, right? And this is what brings me to what else that I had wrote down. Because originally, gay historically means happy and joyful, cheerful, merry, lighthearted, and bright. And you know how even just having that certain type of demeanor when you go to jail, you got to act hard. You know what I'm saying? You got to act tough. So people won't pin the idea of just because a motherfucker like to smile and crack jokes and be cool with somebody of the same sex that, oh, you must like that. You know what I'm saying? So somebody here could have grew up in a household where it was like men don't cry or boys don't cry, you know, and at that young age, kids are sponges. You know, they take on to those type of words, and that carries them until their teenage years, until their adult years, until they meet somebody that makes them feel comfortable to let their guard down and crack a damn smile and show a sense of vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? It made me think of this video that I seen on Instagram where it was like the dudes that was frolicking. And I was watching it and I was just smiling the whole video, because it's like something so simple as just running in the damn grass and rolling over and just feeling free. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing men smile, it does it for me. It does it for me. But with somebody that is so keen on like not showing that sense of joyfulness, you know, makes people so homophobic nowadays. But being that video of the little boys saying, listen, 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 Linda, went viral, it made me think of the Me Too moment, okay? So some of you guys could be a part of the Me Too moment. Maybe you have a friend, you know, a family member, a coworker, or anybody that may have went through that, right? So for those who are not familiar with what the Me Too movement is, it's a global social movement against sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and rape culture where child, I can't read my own writing. That's a damn shame. But it says where survivors share their experiences to show solidarity and raise awareness. It advocates for accountability and support, okay? So this is people like standing up for themselves. And it's like, I'm getting some downloads. There's an energy here of like somebody using this as like a blackmail sense to someone. Okay, and again, this goes back into like, you never know what someone had went through that made them question, you know, their sexuality or their identity. So using that against someone, that whether you caught them, whether you sensed it, whether you seen it or whatever, there's always an, what is it, a cause to an effect, or effect to a cause, when it comes to that, okay? Now also too, with that energy of listen, 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 it made me think of like, you know how when you were younger and like say your cousins hit you or something or did something to you, right? To where they was like, okay, be quiet, I promise, I'll give you this, I give you that. You know, the whole sense of him saying, listen, Linda, because he wanted to get the cupcake, right? So it gives like coercing type of energy, you know. It gives a vibe of like somebody being scared to speak up when it comes to, you know, it could have been a family member that did it to you, or someone that you know, or, you know, a close friend, or, you know, a lot of things go into that because you never know. You know, I can only imagine the thoughts that can go through somebody's mind by going through that, because it's like, damn, if you tell on this person, then it has an impact on the whole family. You know what I'm saying? Or the whole organization, or whatever it is, you know? But there is energy here of like somebody who is now older. Maybe they're not a kid anymore. They can't be manipulated. There is an energy of somebody that wants to apologize to someone, because it's like you never forget. You know what I'm saying? If you have ever been in that type of situation, I'm sure it's something that does not leave your mind. And again, like, it could, if you don't heal or address it or fully accept that is something that may have happened to you, it can follow you into your friendships. It can follow you into your relationships. It can follow you into your marriages. It is going to always be a part of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to make sure that you have the right people in your life that's not going to use it as collateral when they are upset with you, or when y'all are no longer cool, or, you know, to try and make you feel a certain type of way, because those are certain things that you disclose with someone as a sense of vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? But I strongly get to that this could be someone who it could be interested in you. Okay, not to negate like it being, you know, somebody that you're close with, family or whatever, but the main feel that I get is like this could be someone who is interested in you. And this is somebody who is not that affectionate. Okay, it's hard for them to show affection because, and I get a masculine energy, honestly. I get a masculine energy. And don't think that there's you know, just as women can go through it as well, don't put it past the fact that there are men that go through it too. You know what I'm saying? There are men that do not consent to sexual acts that get taken advantage of by other women. You know what I'm saying? Don't always got to be a male on male, by other women as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a deeper reason here as to why, you know, it may be hard for someone to give you that sense of affection that you may be looking for. And that's all in someone feeling comfortable enough to, you know, peel back those certain type of layers that expose that part of them, you know, as far as whatever it is that they went through in their life, because it's not an easy topic to talk about, you know. Like, somebody to disclose that type of information, they have to feel comfortable enough to talk to you about that. If you show a motherfucker as soon as you get mad at them, you quick to call them a broke ass, this and that, what makes you think? I mean, let's keep it 100. What makes you think that they're gonna feel comfortable telling you that aspect of their life when they see how quick you are to throw in their face their downfalls? So it's like, there's a thing here to where it's like different people bring out different parts of you, and vice versa, you know? And I feel like this is why someone wants to plead with you as far as not wanting you to leave their world, because you are somebody that they feel like they can trust and be open with, and be like, hey, you know, this may be the reason, X, Y, and Z may be the reason as to why, you know, it's hard for me to show you affection, or, I want to, I just don't know how, because this was my first display of this or that or whatever. So this message is to simply bring light and grace to people. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know the background of why people are the way that they are. You know? Because before you met them, y'all were complete strangers. Y'all lived a life that y'all don't know about up until you meet them. Some people only tell you what they want you to know. But for y'all to be on my channel, I feel like a lot of you guys are very intuitive. Like somebody may not have to say what it is, but you can sense it. You can sense it. I remember having a friend who, like, I knew, was a part of the LGBT community, still love him to death. You know what I'm saying? Whether he was or whether he wasn't. But it wasn't my position, right, to ask, because what was it going to change if I loved him whether he was or not, right? But eventually he got comfortable in letting me know, and I respected him for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like someone here definitely feels like you are somebody that they can confide in. You won't judge them. And that says a lot about your character, collective. It says a lot about your character and who you are, Now, for the person that's interested in you, that probably has a background history of something happening to them against their will, you don't know. You probably don't even have an inkling as far as even thinking that this is something that could have happened to them, but it possibly did. And I feel like you still gonna love this person, whether they did or not, whether it was just a curious moment or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But they definitely want you to hear them out. Because I do feel like for some of you guys, like a strong, good amount of y'all, this is somebody maybe where it was against their will, and it's kind of like somebody feeling like their manhood got taken away. But based off of the energy that you have, collective, it's like by this person expressing this to you or something, it's going to feel like a weight lifted off their shoulders. Like they know for sure that you are somebody that will not judge them. So maybe this is an uncomfortable conversation that somebody wants to have to you, so you can know why, they don't want you to feel like they don't care about you or they forgot about you. It's just with the type of love that this person wants with someone, they will want them to understand that aspect of them, because it'll make sense to you why it may be hard for them to navigate with you in a certain way in which you may want them to. But this shows that this person is willing to try, because somebody feels like they found their person. Okay? Somebody feels like they done found their person. I'm hearing that song all my life, baby, baby. I pray for someone like you. And I thank God that I finally found you. Okay? Period. That's what I'm talking about, collective. So listen, if you are dealing with someone, or, because I get this in a couple of ways. If you are dealing with someone where you feel like they always blowing you off, they don't care, whatever, hear them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person being truthful with you may be their last try of trying to keep you in their life. And you're going to know because, again, this is something that this person does not open up to many people about. They're not just telling everybody that they date or is with this type of information. This is classified, okay? Only people at a certain level is able to know this about them. So handle it with care. This is your confirmation to handle this person with care. Because how would you feel if you was on the other side? You know, and it's something that really eats you up inside, and it's like, man, I know I want to give this person this part of me, but I'm still trying to heal from this part of me, right? You would want somebody to handle you with care, right? And then, and the other aspect that I get this title in is of the non-consent way, right? As far as somebody wanting you to hear them out. Either way it goes, I feel like these conversations are going to be very emotional and uncomfortable. Okay? Because again, you may see this person. You know, if it's a family member, holidays is coming up, you may see them. And I don't know if it's somebody that has turned the new leaf or, you know, trying to live their life the right way, because there's always a pattern with these type of people. You know what I'm saying? There's always some sort of a pattern. And it's up to someone to break the cycle. You know? So you never know. The person that may have done something to you, maybe something was done to them. It's kind of given like hurt people hurt people. You know? But there is somebody here too where it's like they know whatever it is that they did was wrong. And again, it's like an energy of someone here like wanting to speak up for themselves. So whatever somebody is trying to do, whether it's like buy stuff for someone or do this or do that for them to keep quiet, that is going to come to a head. Okay? That is going to come to a head. I don't know. Maybe this is some... I ain't going to get into that because... yeah. I mean, if you pick up what I'm putting down based off of me not choosing to go that way with what I just said, yeah, somebody, you know, they deserve that situation to come to a head. Because it's like, if you don't speak up, you got to think about the other people that they could possibly do it to. You know what I'm saying? It's making me think of that movie It Ends With Us, and how the girl grew up watching her mom and her dad beat on her mom, and then she ended up marrying a dude that was also domestic, but the red flags was there. You know what I'm saying? When they first met, he was so angry, he threw the chair on top of the roof and this and that. She seen the temper, but he was very charming. He knew how to reel her back in. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like, boom, he was getting something out the oven, burnt himself, and knocked her aside her head. It was like, oh, it's an accident. And then it went to them down the stairs, and he pushes her. I'm just trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? There's patterns, and there's red flags. If y'all haven't seen that movie, It Ends With Us, it was a good movie. I suggest you watch it. You know, if you are a little sensitive with domestic violence things, maybe not. But at the end, it shows how speaking up for yourself, you know, it stops the cycle. Okay? So I just wanted to bring light to that and give you the confirmation if there's something that you are going through. And just remember, like, if the shoe is on the other foot, you know what I'm saying? Because this again, I just can't stress it enough that this is not a comfortable conversation to have. You know, so if this person, if that's something that, because I get in the sense of this is something that happened to someone that was without their consent, and this is someone who may play for the other side. You know what I'm saying? They may like both sides. If that's not what you into, that's not what you into. But have enough respect to keep that conversation between you and that person. Hey, Slay. Welcome in, welcome in. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that one that's like, girl, you know, I didn't deal with Woo because it took them a lot of strength to even tell you in the first place. So don't do nobody like that. Okay? Just remember that, collective. So, you know, sometimes you just got to hear people out because everybody has a story as to why they are the way that they are. Okay. So I love you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Put that bell on so you know me, your girl is dropping the tea. And when it's hot, matter of fact, I'm gonna make me some tea right now. So you know when it's hot, okay? I love y'all. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, y'all.